Hello everyone, this video focuses on increasing mobility and flexibility in the shoulders. We'll work to increase our range of motion as well as opening up through the chest, getting a stretch through our shoulders, releasing tension through the upper body and just feeling good. So having an increased range of motion in the shoulder joints is extremely important for postures such as back bends and handstands. So we'll go ahead and get started by finding ourselves in an easy seated position. If it's not comfortable for you to sit like I am here, feel free to take a block and prop your seat up a little higher. Also, feel free to just sit crisscross here. It really doesn't matter as we're focusing mostly on our upper body. Beginning by bringing your attention to your breath. On the inhale, drawing your shoulders up towards your ears, and on the exhale, pressing them back and down along your spine. So taking a big roll in and up, and exhale back and down. Rising and pressing the shoulders down. Inhale and lifting, and exhale and pressing down, pulling them strongly along your back. Take a few more here before you allow your shoulders to settle down along your spine. Bringing more attention to your posture, sitting up tall, lifting through the crown of your head. On the next inhale, reaching your hands open to either side towards the ceiling, pressing the shoulders up, and exhale, releasing. So keeping the hands towards the ceiling, lifting the shoulders, and pressing them back and down on the exhale. Lifting and depressing. Lifting and depressing. Bringing more attention to your breath as you lift and lower here. Breathing in and out through the nose, drawing more energy through the body. Bringing awareness to your shoulders, seeing if you can lift them a little higher and press them a little lower. Next time your shoulders are down along your spine, hold them there, interlacing the fingertips and pressing your palms up towards the ceiling. On the next exhale, rounding forward, pressing your hands out in front of you, almost towards the ground. Your shoulders come right on either side of your ears. Big release through the upper back here, rounding a little more, and inhale, lifting tall. Releasing the hands to either side and taking them in a clasp behind the back. Option 1 is to press the shoulders back, opening up through the chest. If this full posture isn't accessible to you, no problem, go ahead and use a strap. Straps are awesome, and you can really use anything for a strap. You don't need a specific yoga strap. You can use a towel, a belt, really anything you can get your hands on here. Just holding the strap in either of the hands and taking the same posture. Go ahead and release the stretch that you are in, inhaling, reaching the hands high, and depressing along your spine. Lifting up and pressing the shoulder blades right back down. Lifting and lowering. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms high, and then rounding through your upper back, drawing your ears right between your shoulders. Inhale high, releasing the hands to either side and taking the variation behind your back, whether you're clasping the hands or holding a strap. Twisting slightly to your right. Through center and to the left. Drawing back to center and dropping your forehead towards the floor, allowing a slight round in your back. Your hands are reaching up and almost towards the wall in front of you. Don't worry if they don't come very far at first. This is something that will happen over time or even the longer you sit in the pose. So releasing slightly the hands towards the hips and then pressing forward towards the wall in front of you. Keeping hold of the strap or the clasp in the hands. Releasing towards the hips and pressing forward. We'll take one more, releasing towards the hips and pressing forward. This time, as you release the hands towards the hips, pulling your shoulder blades more closely in towards one another, leading you to sit up tall. Releasing the strap and setting it to the side. Bringing your hands in front of you so that your shoulders align right over your wrists and your hips right over your knees. Coming to a tabletop position and feeling yourself become strong, pressing against the mat. Core is nice and engaged, back is nice and flat. These next exercises we'll move through are working more towards awareness of our body and our shoulder joint. As we inhale, releasing our chest towards the mat. And as we exhale, pressing the shoulders away, rounding slightly through the upper back. Inhale and dropping. And pressing. So doing these movements as you keep your back flat, your core engaged. There's no movement happening at the elbow joint here. This is all in the shoulders. So as we exhale, retracting the shoulder blades along our back. And as we press, protracting the shoulder blades along our back. Moving up and down. Getting used to this movement. The more range of motion we can find here, the better. Taking the hands wide of the mat and dipping the chest down right in the center. Leaning slightly to the left for a big stretch. And to the right. To the left. And the right. Go ahead and just move out side to side. You should feel a large stretch across your chest and your shoulders. Eventually holding right in the center here so the elbows come about to 90 and dipping more deeply into the right side. Lifting through center and dipping into the left. Switching to the right. And one more to the left. Returning to center, walking the hands right in under the shoulders, reaching the right arm up high, and taking in a big circle, reaching all the way around. Reaching up and around, and one more up and around. Next time you reach the arm up high, taking some small circles in the shoulder joint, and weaving the right arm under so the right shoulder comes down to the ground, and the right ear. So the left arm will reach out long, or option to take it up towards the ceiling or the sky. Another option would be to allow the left arm to bend and come behind the back for a half bind. Releasing the left hand to the floor and pressing down to return yourself to center. This time the left arm will go high, taking some big circles on this side. Go ahead and take 3, 2, 1. And hold the arm up, taking those small circles in the shoulder joint. Left arm weaves under, bringing the left shoulder to the ground as well as the left side of the head. Right arm reaches out long, or up towards the ceiling or behind your back. I suggest you take whatever variation you did on the other side. Releasing the right hand to the floor and pressing yourself back up to neutral. The hands will stay a little bit wide, dipping down into your chest towards the floor, taking a big roll forward, up and back. Continue these as if you're taking shoulder rolls as we did in the seated position. But now we have the extra weight of our body to add resistance to the shoulder roll so you can get a lot deeper into the shoulder blades. Taking a pause in child's pose and reversing the direction, so leaning forward and then releasing down and back. Taking a few of these, just moving with your own body. Don't feel like yours have to look exactly like mine or anyone you're practicing with. These movements will look different on every body, so don't be too hard on yourself. Finding center, walking your hands in so your shoulders come right over your wrists, and we'll move through a few cat-cows. So as you exhale, pressing the air out, rounding through your spine. Inhale, arching your back, looking up, rounding, and arching. Returning to a neutral position and coming back to a comfortable seated pose. Now that our shoulders are nice and warm, we'll take this next portion of the video to really focus on increasing shoulder mobility and flexibility using your strap. So go ahead and grab your strap or whatever you're using as a strap today and hold it in front of you. Each hand is about shoulder width distance apart. Beginning by reaching the hands up high over the head, all the while keeping the shoulder blades down and depressed along the spine. Exhale and release the hands down towards the knees, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale and lifting. And exhale as you press back. Releasing, Bringing the hands out about 2 inches wider on each side as you lift up this next time. So each time you walk your hands out a little further, you should be able to bring the hands back a little further behind your head. So we'll take 2 stretches at each stage. So keeping the hands where they are, reach up and allow the arms to relax behind your head, pressing the chest forward and releasing down. Walking the hands out a little further to each side on your strap. Lifting. And lowering. Lifting. Taking your time here. And lowering. Bringing the hands a little wider. Lifting up. And lowering. Lifting up. And lowering. Now walking your hands wide enough out that you feel you'd be able to make a full rotation in your shoulders, lifting them all the way up and then down towards your hips. All the way back through center. Up and back. And forward, taking your time. Around. And forward. Around. And forward. You should feel your shoulders opening up a little more now. Now walking your hands in a little bit closer towards one another. Seeing if you can do the same thing. So not walking in too far. You don't want to feel like this is so painful, but you should feel more of a stretch. You'll begin to notice that there's one part of the motion that's the hardest to get by. So take notice of that. And the next time you're there, hold there. Pressing the chest forward, actively lengthening through the spine. Releasing along your back and coming over the top one more time. Releasing the strap and setting it to the side. Shaking out the shoulders a little bit. Doing whatever you need to do to feel good after that. Those are some intense stretches. Reaching both hands up towards the ceiling, grabbing the right elbow with the left hand. I'll go ahead and turn to this side here so that you can see from the back. Another option here is to release the left hand and reach for the right hand with the left. If this is not accessible, also awesome place to use a strap as I'm showing here. As long as you're feeling a stretch, that's all that I ask for. Go ahead and release on that side, taking both hands up, this time holding the left elbow with the right hand. Or releasing the right hand back to hold for the left hand, or using a strap. Releasing both hands and coming to the floor in a tabletop position once again. We'll work ourselves towards puppy pose, which is an awesome shoulder opener. So first level is bringing the forehead down to the mat, much like a child's pose. The only difference is that the hips align more closely over the knees as opposed to towards the heels. For a deeper puppy pose, bringing your chin towards the mat, pressing your chest down. Also an option to bend into the elbows. This brings a stretch through the tricep and along the shoulders and opening through the chest. Puppy pose is awesome. Holding here for one more full breath in and out. Slowly bringing yourself to a child's pose, allowing your forehead to come to the mat, your hips to sink back towards your heels. Thank you for joining me today. I promise as long as you are consistent with these stretches and exercises that you will become more flexible and mobile through your shoulders. Namaste.